Welcome to a special edition of Mom and Dad Are Talking. Tonight we are talking about our top 10 WTF moments of Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3.
Man, this episode had everybody excited, and I'm telling you, it did not let you down. And all of the hype, I think it's worth it. What you think?
Yeah, I've been a huge Game of Thrones fan since forever, and I love this episode.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, I'll be honest, I have to throw it out there. I'm an individual that started loving the series very late, and I actually watched all 7 seasons over the Christmas holiday, and I got hooked. So now I'm all into it. But I'm excited to talk about these top 10 WTFs, right? Mm-hmm. So what we got, or what are we going to do? We're going to start with number 10 and work our way down to number 1, which would be our top 1. So.
Okay, so the first one we have is Bran having a human moment.
A human moment. That was crazy to me because if we've seen Bran ever since he became the Raven, is that's what he's called?
The three-eyed Raven.
The three-eyed Raven. He isn't Brandon anymore. And there's been several occasions where when he reunited with his family and they were hugging him, they were excited to see him, and he was there, but he wasn't really there because he wasn't
present. He just was having the resting Bran face.
Yeah. He wasn't. He was no longer the old him. He was the three-eyed Raven.
He would say, "I am not Brandon Stark. I am the three-eyed Raven."
Yeah. So it shocked me in the part where he was sitting near that. What was the name of that tree?
The weirwood tree. The
big tree, and he's the bait, right? So he's the bait for
the Night King. Because remember, the Night King wants to kill Bran because he has to keep reliving this situation over and over again. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to be the Night King. Never asked to be the Night King. So he feels that if he gets Bran, the knower of history, of events past, present, and future, he can get rid of Bran.
Yeah. So he's sitting there at the tree, and is the people around him, they're protecting him as he continues to be bait. And like you said, there was a very touching moment where, what's the gentleman's name again? What's his name?
Theon Greyjoy.
Theon, before he realizes he's about to die, he tries to apologize and say, "I'm sorry for what I did." And he stopped him. Brandon stopped him and said, you don't need to apologize. Basically, everything that you did has led us to this moment, and really didn't allow him to have that human moment to kind of say, "I'm sorry for what I did." So it shocked me when...
Well, he already knew he was sorry.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he already knew.
And if you're the three-eyed Raven and you know people's motives, I mean, he's gonna stop him and be like, "Look,
bro, let's move on.
We're cool. Yeah, you did all that for a reason. That's why we're here. This is important.
Yeah,
you were supposed to do all that."
Yeah, but he let him have that moment where right before he was about to die, and finally the Night King had reached him, and there was no other troops around him. He said, what did he say to him? "Thank you.
Thank you. You're a good man, Theon.
You're a good man, Theon." And at that moment, that meant a lot to Theon because you could see him kind of...
everything for him.
Yeah, you saw him tear up, and it was like, thank you for the forgiveness. The weight was of all of the guilt I guess he had for what he had done.
That's a powerful thing when you feel so much guilt about something, and for somebody to be like, "It's okay, it's cool, you're a good person," because that's what we really struggle with. When you're doing something terrible or horrible or made a mistake or betrayed someone, you always think to yourself, "Am I a good person? Am I a terrible person? I'm a terrible person." Mm-hmm. And to be absolved of that's a huge relief. Yeah. He could die in peace.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. And I think that him saying that to him gave him that motivation, that extra push to charge at the king. And...
I mean, his story arc is awesome because all throughout the history of the show, Theon has been trying to prove himself.
Yeah.
He was kind of stuck between two worlds, being a Greyjoy and being a Stark. Mm-hmm. And trying to make up for the horrible things that he'd done. He wanted the love and care of his biological father. He was raised by Ned Stark, a good man, but he wanted his Greyjoy family to embrace him,
Yeah.
and and love him, and to show that, hey, I'm still Ironborn on the inside. But really, I mean, he kind of wasn't. He was the best of being Ironborn, and the best, and I wouldn't say the best of being a Stark, but he got there basically. He got there.
Yeah, that confirmation I think was real big for him. So I think that was definitely one of the WTF moments, one of the top moments of the video. So what's the next one?
Arya avoiding the whites in the library inside of Winterfell. That was horrific.
Yeah. I mean, it was that her running around was probably some of the, almost like a horror movie.
It was like a horror movie. Like I couldn't. I have never. I had goosebumps. I was just like, oh my god, these people are raising from the dead, and she's literally like
amongst them,
like
surrounded,
dodging them like a cat, like quiet, like, and they're just coming. That was so creepy.
And then how crazy is it that you got your relatives waking up to kill you?
Yeah, that's the crazy part about it. I mean, she don't know these people. They died hundreds of years ago, but they still are her relatives. They are Starks, and they looked a lot different than the other whites. I mean, they've been encapsulated, entombed, and when you're entombed, you look different. Your skin's different. You still got hair. I mean, still kind of recognizable.
Yeah, and she was able to put her skill sets to order, and I think that was also, it was fascinating too, because over the last couple of seasons before that, once she became a faceless person, we don't see her being scared anymore.
No,
she's super confident.
Yeah, she's almost like Bran, where she almost lost a part of her humanity a little bit.
And she's like super confident and just not afraid, and almost like has like this supreme confidence that I can almost escape anything. My skill set is so great, but in that moment, we see all of that fear. Like we see her actually be fearful again when we hadn't seen that from her in quite a long time. So I thought that was really fascinating to see that human element of her back again,
and her to be terrified. For her to be terrified, like the look of terror that she had, like she forgot who she was for a minute. Yeah. So that was insane.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
That was a good scene. What about the dragons fighting? What are we on? Number 7?
What are we? No, I think we're doing top 10, right? So this would be
number 8.
Yeah.
The dragons fighting.
All right, yeah. So I mean, I think everybody could not wait to see these dragons fight, because once the Night King got one, I was so pissed when he got the damn dragon. Like, I was just like, you literally if they didn't give him the dragon, he doesn't have a way to defeat them and breach the wall. So I'm sitting here like kind of pissed off. Like, you literally just that's like somebody's robbing you, come in your house and you say, here, this is where my guns are so you can rob me even better. And it just pissed me off that he had a dragon. But I think everybody was waiting to see what the fight would look like.
The Dance of Dragons.
Yeah, what the fight would look like. And to me, like, a lot of different things was going through my mind. It was like, would the dragons fight the other dragon? Because it's still like almost like their brother, like that the dragon has recognized, like he's no longer one of us.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see that fight scene of them actually fighting and, like you said, twirling around in the sky. Even though it was so dark, it was like you were kind of wondering which dragon was which.
On? Like, yeah, because they have a little different color, and one is Drogon's the biggest one, but you still couldn't like tell which one was which. I thought, and this is just me, like, Jon Snow's supposed to be a Targaryen, right? So he can ride a dragon. And I kept saying, I know you heard me on the couch, and you were like, what are you talking about? I said, say it, Jon, say it. Say it. I kept waiting for him to be like, Dracarys. I wanted him to say it so bad. Like, come on, be a dragon, be a Targaryen.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed by that. I just kept saying, say it, Jon. You say that shit. Say it.
But that was a real fascinating fight scene. I enjoyed that a lot, to seeing the dragons fight, do their thing. I definitely enjoyed that.
Yeah. But we talked about this, but Theon going out like a G.
Oh, Theon. Yeah, I mean, that was I mean, I thought that was so amazing, for him to charge and to put up that one last fight. I think everybody, when you're going out, you want to go out and feel respected.
Yeah.
When you're going out, even if you lose, it's almost like even fighting in school.
You don't want to die crying.
Yeah, it's like even if you lose the fight, you want people to say, you know what, he did put up a good fight. You know what I'm saying? And to get some respect back for yourself. And I think he was able to do that in that particular situation. And, even though people may miss him and things like that, just to be able to stand up, kind of, repair your legacy, so to speak.
Yeah. Because he's the only great, well, there's Euron, but we're not going to talk about him. But he just to know that he, he did what he was supposed to do. And he stood up, and he was going to go meet his death. Like, he was going to go full force with it and just do it.
What was that movie where they say a good death?
Die a good death?
Yeah, or something.
No, 300.
Yeah, it's a good death.
Today
Even
is a
in
good
the movie,
day to die.
yeah, today is a good day to die.
They're like oiling themselves up.
Getting right. And that's what it reminded me of. He was like, man, today is a good day to die. And he did his thing. So I thought it was awesome.
Is any day really a good day to die? I mean,
I think so.
Wow. Okay. Okay, so that was number 7. Let's go to number 6, where we talk about the Dothraki.
Oh shit.
First, before we get there, maybe it'll be like a 6.5. Melisandre coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. I don't want to say I hate her, but I really dislike her as a person. That I can never look at her when she burned that little girl up.
Shireen Baratheon.
When she burned that, I had no respect for this woman. I couldn't stand her, and then here she comes trotting up. First of all, where the hell did she come from?
Where the hell you been?
Yeah, not only where you been, but how did you even get over there with all these whites is over there? They got hundreds of thousands, and here you come sneaking up in the dark and shit with your robe on. But yeah, the whole Dothraki thing, her lighting their swords.
Finally, the Lord of Light do something useful.
Yeah, lighting the swords. And
that all that aside, that did look
it looked cool. It looked dope from an aesthetic standpoint, and I think it gave people a false sense of hope. You're like, oh shit,
it's about to go down.
They about to get
because we all know how the Dothraki fight. They crazy, but I just saw that and I was just like, yes, let's go because the first 10 minutes it's like nobody talking.
Yeah,
there was nobody talking.
I was like, dude, can we get to that? I was a little worried because I feel like Game of Thrones be stretching shit out. And I was like, why they wasted 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of just nothing happen? I'm like, damn it, if they let this movie end and they wasted that 10 minutes, I was going to be so mad. But, I think everything that shocked everybody, the Dothraki, if I'm even pronouncing it right, they're like these awesome fighters. So they go running off into the dark to go fight the whites and get wiped out. And you can see them
the way
one
they
by one.
Shot that was so clever.
Crazy. One by one, all of their flames just
the lights just going out, and the war cries just gets
quieter
silent.
And quieter and
then
quieter.
Here come Jorah like
yeah. And then I was so like that. To me, that was a waste of your best soldiers, and I just don't understand. And I know I ain't no scholar when it comes to battling, but why would you send them off over there to basically, that was a death mission. That was like a waste of your soldiers. And it's so dark, you can't see it, and you send them off, and they just got slaughtered. I mean, not even a fight. They were slaughtered just like within 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was just this wave of like whites just
within 20 seconds. I couldn't believe that. And I was just like, wow, waste of soldiers. Poor, like, who thought when they were in the war room, sitting over there chopping it up, coming up with the plan that sending your best fighters.
Let's send in our best fighters
to fight
in the dark.
And then they had maybe a couple of hundred of them.
Yeah.
And you gonna send a couple of hundred people to fight a couple 100,000. Like that didn't and in the dark, out of their element. Like I just was like, bro, this don't make no sense.
Yeah, and also too, it's like the loss of life. Like nobody thought to say, maybe nobody came back. You know what? Maybe we need to retreat back into the gates and do like a hot gate type of thing like they did in 300, where they like do a formation where they only have
let
a
a
couple
small come through.
in and
Some Black Panther kind of stuff too. You know, when he barely opened the thing. And since we talking about, I'm getting off top. I ain't gonna talk about military strategy. Let's keep going because I feel some kind of way about their whole strategy. Period. And I might talk about it at the end, but let's keep the top 10 rolling.
So we talked about the Dothraki. Let's talk about little bear, Lyanna Mormont.
Damn. If she's not the most gangster, young, everything about her is
she's a thug.
Just boss status. Like I'm low key mad she's dead because I just wanted to see who she would have grew into. Yeah. Like she was gonna be a tremendous leader, but for her to try to fight the giant,
she got hit. She picked up that axe and said, ah, and just charged. And he looking at her like, okay, come on, dog, and grabs her, and she just is still like fighting. And she gets him in the eye.
Yeah. And that was such a major scene to me, too, because it was like...
a David and Goliath moment.
And then she went out on top. Because even when earlier on, when they were getting ready to fight, they were like, do you want to go downstairs to the crypt? And she was like, no. I'm up here fighting. And she was telling them, like, I'm staying up here and I'm going to fight. And she really made a difference on the battlefield.
I'm not going to sit down by the fire while people die for me.
Exactly. And that, it was just, and then even when he was squeezing her and then she stabbed him and she fell and they just focused on her, just was another focal point of just like, wow, people just standing up, just the desperation.
And to be that brave.
Yeah. And to see something that's just way taller than you and it just kind of shows that sometimes when you're in your darkest moments, your most desperate moments, that the will to survive, the will to fight is always there in people. Yeah. It just was crazy.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Definitely.
A beautiful death. Like you said.
Here we go.
a beautiful
Another
death.
beautiful death.
Okay, so let's talk about the Night King punking out.
Bruh. That part, I almost threw my phone at the damn TV. And I would have done it, but the only thing I thought about was this TV is expensive. And
my God.
But so they fighting on the dragons. He falls off, and they try to burn him alive. He does the dragon doesn't the dragon flame don't kill him. So that lets me know
that he's a Targaryen probably.
Yeah, so he survives, and Jon is going after him. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Oh, come shit!" On.
And this reminded me so much of the Battle of the Bastards. It's like Jon Snow, like, literally knows nothing and remembers nothing because he always is putting himself in situations where it's just him against hundreds. And he's just not thinking about what's going on around him. All he sees is the Night King. All he sees is Rickon Stark running across the field.
I love it. You know what that was saying? I don't have a plan B because it distracts from my plan A. I love it. I love it.
Oh my God.
So he goes after him, and I'm like, it's about to go down. And the damn Night King,
he said,
turns around and calls up all the dead.
All the homeboys.
I said, you old bitch ass. Calls up all the dead. And then just walks off and leaves Jon to fight. Because
all these whites.
I was just like, it's going down. I just was shocked because they make him to be so gay. I guess when they make him so gay because it's like he's expressionless. He doesn't say much. He's all about that action. Every time you see him, he's about the action. He killed the old
calm and collected.
Yeah, he killed the old
three-eyed raven.
The old three-eyed raven. Boom. Didn't say nothing. Boom.
Went on about his business.
Not killed the dragon. You know what I'm saying? Didn't say nothing. Look, aimed at him, threw the spear, killed the dragon. So I'm like, okay, this man is about that life.
He's about action.
And I said, man, this dude ran off and just left, and I just couldn't believe it.
I was expecting him to do a little something. He didn't do anything. He just was like, he was just super overconfident.
Yeah.
To me.
Just super overconfident and just walked off. And I was just like, man, I felt a little, I felt a little shortchanged on that element about and you know, maybe we won't get into too much of it, but I felt a little shortchanged when he ran off and didn't fight John. You know, I felt a little shortchanged. I'll just be honest about it.
I guess it wasn't about John, was it?
Not at this particular moment.
Speaking of the Night King actually dying, I know that you said you didn't expect the Night King to die this early, but I expected him to die in this episode. I just didn't know how it was going to go down.
I can't believe that you would think that he would die, because when they killed him, the first thing that came to my mind is, how are we going to drag out 3 more episodes when the damn Night King is dead? And I didn't see him dying because
they got a whole nother war to fight.
That's true.
And then you got to remember, their forces are depleted.
Yeah.
They ain't got nobody to fight.
Shit, they still got the 2 dragons.
I mean, but, well, yeah.
But I wouldn't have guessed him to die. You know what I'm saying? And then to me, he died kind of simply. And just even, I should say, even beyond him just dying and punking out, even the fact that what were the other guys, the other leaders that are like him? I don't even know what their names are.
They're just whites.
I mean, but they look like him. They're like kind of.
I can't remember what they're called.
But whatever. They didn't get used. Like all you do is you always see them just walking next to him. Like it's almost like a rapper who has an entourage. They just clinging along. They don't rap themselves. They don't sing themselves. They don't do nothing but just walk around and look like goons. And at least sometimes, at least your goons get busy. They did nothing the whole movie. So I was like, not only did he get killed, and I didn't get a chance to see him get his squab on, but then even his boys, they ain't get down.
I mean, but I didn't really mind that too much because I remember the Battle of Heartholm, and I've seen them get down, and they do get down. But I just was thinking to myself, I couldn't think how they were going to end it, because I knew this was going to be the end. There was a little part of me saying that they weren't going to win this war and they would have to like retreat to Pike or something like that. But I just was wondering, like, who are they? Like, I kept thinking to myself, Jon Snow's getting ready to get there and he might not survive. He might not survive. And so just to see that. So let's get to the main, the coup de grace of all this. I mean, you want to talk about full circle moments? This is some full circle stuff. When Melisandre says, "What do you say to the god of death?" and Arya says, "Not today," and she goes out. I mean, it's just so many full circles going around here. When she first meets Melisandre, she says, "You'll close many eyes, brown ones, green ones, and blue ones," and I think that let Arya know, okay, this is what I'm here for. I gotta go protect my brother, and the dagger, the whole thing with the dagger of Bran, when they first reunite in season 7 at the end, Bran gives her that dagger that Littlefinger tried to have used to kill Bran, and he gave it to her, and he must have known right there under that weirwood tree when he gave it to her that this is why he was giving it to her.
Yeah, I mean that was another amazing scene of how well they do with the foreshadowing, and then just like even with Game of Thrones, it's like I've never,
it's
like I told
obvious.
you, yeah, I never watch shows like this because I'm so busy and I don't like to get emotionally invested. But it's like Game of Thrones is almost like being in school, and how they tell you, just because we learned something in the beginning of the school year, that don't mean you can forget it, because we got the end of the course test at the end of the school year.
It always comes
and
back.
you're expected to still remember what we learned in August all the way in May. And that's kind of how like Game of Thrones is to me, because it's like they'll say certain things and then it's like, damn it, they said that in the third one. You know, when she, even when what's her older sister that was down in the crypt, when she gave
Sansa.
her the weapon, and she said, "I don't know how to use a weapon." She said, "Well, just
stick her with the pointy end." That's what Jon said.
Yeah, and it just was like they just keep bringing things back subtly, and they'll remind you. So I think that's so cool how they do that. And low key, if you hear me, Game of Thrones, I would love to be a part. It's too late now, but I would love to be a part of something. You know, I just love the creative process. You know, as somebody who creates content ourselves, I respect people's ability to like to see things before they're done. Like,
The
just imagine,
writers.
yeah, you're putting this together and you're having to envision where you're taking this thing, even though you're in the moment of
eight
now.
years.
Yeah,
8 years.
it's crazy, man. So
And that's a lot of characters to try to plan out years in advance and
Crazy.
then have it still connect to other. It's a
crazy.
lot. It's a lot.
Crazy.
Woo! So Arya kills the Night King.
We all the way up there now?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Damn.
Arya kills the Night King. Did you expect it?
Nah, and you want to know what was funny? I didn't expect it, but then as I started to watch other people's videos where they were talking about it, I should have expected it, because when she told her you killed the Blues and then she ran off, where the hell was she gonna run to? You know what I'm saying?
Just to go
But it's
fight.
like, they did such a good job of distracting you, because they had John almost getting burned by the dragon, because he's running around about to get burned, running. So they distract you and have you forget that she's still somewhere getting ready to do something. And no, I didn't expect it. Like I said, I didn't expect the Dragon King to get killed that quickly, because he's rolling over there with his entourage and he's standing over there by himself next to Bran. And then she just comes out of nowhere.
I mean, but he thinks all the Ironborn are dead. Like, it's just him, Theon, and Bran.
And
basically.
then where where's the kings? I keep saying that. What is his name?
The Night King.
The Night Kings. Why are his boys not right there?
They were behind him.
But how did Arya get that close and just sneak up on?
She is a faceless man.
Here you go.
You remember in the second
Bullshit.
episode? You remember was it the second or first episode?
First episode of season
where
8.
where she sees John for the first time in years, and he was like, "How did you sneak up on me like that?" This girl had like 5 years of training in Bravos to be a faceless assassin. She was blind half the time. You don't think that girl can sneak up on you? And plus, she didn't really sneak up on him, because remember, he turned around and got her.
Yeah, but even still, I just was like, they made him so vulnerable in that moment. It was just like, I was just accustomed to seeing him in such a area of strength and then all of a sudden she runs up on him and she does that maneuver that she used on what was the tall lady's name?
Oh, Brienne.
Yeah, the same move that when they were practicing. That's another thing that they do, referencing things from other episodes that if you didn't catch it, you wouldn't have known. She grabbed her arm, then she dropped it for her arm and went for the kill.
Yeah. And
stabbed him in the same place where
you gotta be a bad bitch to be that ambidextrous, where you can fight and do stuff with both hands.
Man, she's sexy too. Like, I don't know how they made her sexy. I ain't trying to be funny. It's like something about her. Like, I look at her different when she said, "Look, give me the D." Okay. She's like, "I don't want to die without the D."
She is 22 in the show at that point.
Bruh.
People.
Hey, yeah. I was just like, my God. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I thought it was outstanding. The season, that show was just amazing to me. And that scene where she killed him was amazing. I think it threw everybody for a loop, and they just couldn't believe that she did it. And then, are we gonna hit it with the bonus or not?
The bonus? What you got for the bonus?
Hey man, I'm about to hurt some feelings with this bonus. We was going back and forth. Should we make this the one or should we make it the bonus? But we love y'all so much. We said we're gonna give y'all the bonus round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the bonus to me was this episode 3 was better than Endgame. I think it was better than Endgame.
Way better.
I think it was. And Endgame was good. Don't get me wrong. By now you should have seen Endgame, so I don't give a damn if you're mad at me about talking about it. Yeah, I don't give a damn. But it to me, this third episode of Game of Thrones for season 8 was just amazing, of how they just drew you in. And it was so many, even though it was just a one big ass fight, basically the whole thing, they did an amazing job of keeping you so fascinated and interested by just going between the different things, running around in the crypt, fighting over here, the Dothraki, the dragons. It was just amazing.
People waking up in the crypt.
Yeah.
Killing all those people.
Yeah, I mean this thing was like amazing. You know what I'm saying? Just absolutely amazing. And I love it. I can't wait to the fourth one, man. Like, I tell you, I've never been like this before over a TV show.
I told you.
It kind of got me pissed off.
I told you.
Here she
Now
go.
you wish you would have.
Oh my God. Here we go. No, I'm glad I did what I did because my feelings would have been even more hurt had I been a fan and had to wait 2 years for the season to start.
That was hurt. That hurt. That hurt.
So I'm winning actually.
Yeah, it was better than. Only gripe though is there weren't enough deaths.
You think so?
Yeah, I was really sad when Jorah died. I knew he was gonna die. I had a feeling that you remember the second episode when they were in the hall drinking wine and Tyrion says, "I think we'll all survive." Everybody in that room survived that episode, the Battle of Winterfell. Everybody in there. I guess that was another foreshadowing. But, now I'm thinking about, like, what other foreshadowing did they do? I gotta go back and look. But they're so clever, I'm probably not even going to catch it.
All right. So to wrap this thing up, all we can do is guess at this point. But what do you think is going to happen next? What do you think we're going to see?
I thought I knew what it was going to happen. I don't even know. Is Cersei still pregnant? Is she faking? I don't know. Is Theon like really feeling her like that? Is he going to try to take over? Is Bronn going to kill Jaime and Tyrion? Mm-hmm. Is he going to do it? What's going to happen to Brienne? I just, where the hell is Gendry? Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of questions. This is what I kind of think.
Their forces are wiped out. What are they gonna do? How are they gonna fight the Golden Company?
I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna give you a little quick thing. Like if I was, and I should be a damn military strategist. Check out my strategy. If it was me, I would wait till it was at night, and I would fly them goddamn dragons over there and burn everything down. Now they are defenses. They can't.
With the people in the city, Patrick.
It don't matter. It's called warfare. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it happens all the time. When you siege in the city, what do? You surround the city and you starve them out. People hungry, thirsty. You throw large stones with catapults in there, breaking stuff. But that if you trying to win, if we win in at all costs, that's all you got to do is go over there at night with them dragons.
I don't think they're gonna be able to get into King's Landing
with them dragons. You fly them dragons over there and burn everything down.
I have a feeling. It's gonna be some Trojan horse type of shit that has to happen. I don't think they're gonna be able to get in the city.
This is the thing. You got them dragons. You fly the dragons over there and you burn everything at night. Those dragons, and then the thing about it is they have the harpoon weapons that can kill them. But if they're flying them around at night, they can't see a thing. And literally, the dragons can just take an hour and just fly around and burn. But they wouldn't do that.
Another battle, we're not gonna be.
But they wouldn't do that. But I think this is what for some reason, I keep having a feeling that the Dragon Queen is going to try to do something to Jon. Because even when Jon told her, she had this look on her face. And to me, it's almost like I think that if Jon tries to really take the throne, I think that she'll try to kill him.
I don't think he wants it.
I don't think he wants it either. So I think that if Jon is cool with being the second guy in line, I think he's okay. But I think if Jon wants it, I don't think she would give it up.
I think other people want it for him. That's what the problem is going to come
But I think that she's going to... I think Arya might kill the Dragon Queen or something. Because I think she's going to try to get Jon. And then I think that Arya is going to get her. I don't know, man. That would be... It's just a guess. Because I just feel like now... The only way they stretch this out is if now there's got to be some beef or something going on our end.
It's got to come. It's got to come because we've got how many more episodes? 3.
Yeah, or even when they do go to fight, and now you got what's the midget's name?
Oh God, Tyrion.
Now we got Tyrion, and then even her brother Jaime. Now they're going to be watching them assassinate their people. Because if you remember, Tyrion. When the Dothraki initially were fighting and they were slaughtering his people, he had a look of like sadness.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how is that going to look when Jaime's over there about to kill his sister, knowing that she's pregnant with his child. Like I just feel like there's going to be some things that pop up.
There's going to be a lot of probably like some betrayals going on.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the reason why Tyrion was looking like that is because Tyrion all throughout the whole show he cares about people. He doesn't want to see all the houses are pretty much wiped out.
Yeah.
All of them. The doggone, all of the houses are wiped out. The Boltons are gone. The Baratheons are gone. Sans Gendry. I mean, the Martells are gone. They're all gone. There's literally only the Starks and the Lannisters.
Yeah.
In
it's crazy.
Targaryen. I mean,
we gonna see, man. And the only thing we can do is kind of sit down and wait. And like I said, this has been an amazing experience for me because I don't do stuff like this. I mean, there are times that I watch Game of Thrones and I come home even though I've seen the episode because it's just I've never been that way about a show. Yeah, I've never been that way about something. So, I mean, we're excited. What are we thinking about doing for the next podcast?
We are.
What was it? Was it our top 5 gripes or something? What
we're
are we
gonna
doing?
do our top gripes.
Our top gripes.
What do we have? What we take issue with? We got some questions.
Yeah, there's some things that I'm hot about and we got to talk about, but we getting ready to wrap this podcast up, man. I'm glad y'all decided to join us and we get our chop it up on. If you like what you heard, go ahead and subscribe. Show us some love, and then also check us out on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on Instagram at Mom and Dad Are Talking. And we'll put a link up in the thing, and you guys can check it out. As always, peace.
Yo, what happened to peace?
Peace.